Yo, what is going on, everybody? It is great to have you with me. It is the Thursday Talkers, and we got an extra day to get ready for our opponent, the San Francisco 49ers. This might be the turning point of the season, one way or the other. You see, we got the trade deadline coming up exactly 8 days after the game. So we'll have the 49ers game, and then we'll have the Packers game, and then that Tuesday will be the trade deadline. And Monday night's game could really determine the path that the Vikings are going to take. But we'll see. Let me get some shout outs to people in the building. Dave from Vikings First and SKOL. Go subscribe to them on YouTube as well as your favorite podcast aggregator. We got Dave in before. Hold on just a second. What the heck? I don't know why that's happening. Anyway, we got Dave with the first one. We got another Dave Thibodeau in the building. So 2 Daves right off the bat. We've got My Worthless Opinion, the greatest single ever YouTube handle, Twitter handle, Facebook, MySpace, Snapchat. Greatest handle in the history of mankind because your opinion is rarely ever worthless, especially on my show. We got Raymond in the house. What's going on, Raymond? Good to see you. Every time I see you, I see that Chuck Foreman jersey. I'm like, dang, I want me one of those. I want me one of them. What's going on, Sports Haven? Ain't seen you in a minute. Thank you so much for joining. I appreciate you. Oh, my God, with the injuries, the Vikings have a shot. You know what? We're going to talk about that. Purple Gang, SKOL Mafia, what's going on? Thank you so very much for joining me. I appreciate each and every one of you here. And I got a little something for you before we get started. Warlord of Art, what's going on, man? Good to see you. It's been a minute, but thank you so much. We got a house call from Dr. Proto. We got Tony Bell up in the building. What's going on, Tony? Good to see you as well. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. I want to mock Bob is also Soul. Did you mean SKOL maybe? I don't know, Bob. But either way, I appreciate each and every one of you. All right. So we got a little something slightly different. Y'all know how I start my show. Y'all know that. But I got a little something different for you tonight. And hopefully YouTube doesn't copyright me. Hopefully not. I looked at it earlier and it said it was fine. But we'll see what happens now that it's showtime here. So let's get this. It wasn't high for me, and I tested it out a couple times, but oh well. And of course, I thought I turned the loop on. Apparently not. Let's get back to the comments before we get started here today. Frozen North in the building. What's going on? Thank you kindly for joining me. Appreciate you as always. We got Two-Tone Tony in the house. What's going on, Two-Tone? Good to see you as well. Travis Etienne is cooking. Is he? I haven't had a chance to watch the game. This is MEA weekend. So right after work, I took my daughter halfway to my parents, and my parents met me halfway. So I got back with just enough time to get a little snack before I joined you guys, or had you guys join me. On behalf of both my grandfathers, I think that, you know what? Thank you to your grandfathers. Thank you to all our grandfathers, aunts, uncles, grandmothers, whoever did something, because as the saying goes, no job is too small. So I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you, Warlord. All right, let's get down to business here, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to start where we always start now, or at least, the last couple of times. We got the NFC North Roundup. Now, last week was really easy because the Packers were off. The Vikings and Bears were playing each other, so I only had one game to really talk about. But we have some interesting matchups, not the least of which, and I say that completely sarcastically, the Vegas Raiders going to Soldier Field. Snooze fest. I like the Vegas Raiders because Chicago's just terrible. I mean, we should have put up more points against them, but nevertheless, and that is going down at 12 o'clock Central. But I hope that here in the Minnesota area at 12 o'clock Central, we get the Detroit Lions at the Baltimore Ravens. Now, that's going to be an interesting matchup. And outside of Philly, Miami, and of course, San Francisco and the Vikings, this game is the game I'm most looking forward to seeing. I'm going to officially pick Baltimore only because they're at home, but I think it's going to be a great game all the way around. We got the Green Bay Packers traveling to the Denver Broncos. A couple of bottom feeding teams. Yes, I know Green Bay has 2 wins and they had their bye week already, but I think Denver can pull it off. if Russell Wilson goes back in time about 3 years, listen, as much as I hate saying it, Denver's just god awful. I think the Packers are going to win, but I will be happy to be wrong. I would be ecstatic to be wrong and that the Green Bay Packers would lose that game. Let me get back to the comments here. What we got going on? I appreciate you, Raymond. I appreciate you. Ryan's in the building. What's going on? But I just finished up opening my a Vikings team that isn't afraid to blow out a team. Yeah, what a concept. Hey, I appreciate you, Ryan. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for stopping by. Oh, reset. Hit them like buttons. If you hadn't hit the like button on your way in, wipe your feet at the door, as they say. And if we got anybody in here that's not in the chat and this is the first time you found me, hit that subscribe button. Pretty please. It's going to be a fun as it'll come. You are correct. Shout out to Eric in the building. SKOL from New Mexico. I appreciate you. We appreciate you. Florinda, Raquel, everybody down in New Mexico. Everybody. Thank you so much, Eric, for dropping by. I appreciate you guys. All right, let's get back to the business at hand. First and foremost, 5-1 is in fact greater than 1-11. The Vikings are taking a massive step up in competition this week, ladies and gentlemen. The 2 victories we've had over Carolina and Chicago, 1-11. Whoop-de-ding-dong. Proves nothing, particularly when you didn't even blow them out like everybody else has. You're facing the 5-1 San Francisco 49ers. And yeah, realistically, they should be 6-0, but for a missed field goal. You know, it was a back and forth, knockdown, drag out sort of game with the Cleveland Browns. But man alive, even though they lost that game, we were going to have a tough hill to climb. Even before we lost Justin Jefferson, we had a tough hill to climb. So let me just make this clear. Don't let the fact that Cleveland beat them. First off, it was in their house. Now, this game is going to be on our house, but guess what? We're 0-3 in our house so far this season. So the home field advantage really isn't much of an advantage. But I'll say this. Cleveland's defense, just slightly better than ours. Just ever so slightly. So defensively, it's it's going to be one of those things where hold on to your hats. And offensively, pretty much the same thing, but we're going to break down those matchups here in just a moment. But I'm going to get back to the chats here. Give me just a second to hit this button over here. Let's see. I think we can beat the Saints. Yeah, probably. I will get to that. I will say that. Probably. That might be our first home win in the season if we don't get the 49ers because we got 2 games on the road after that. Shout out Gary in the building. What's going on, SKOL, mate? I appreciate you. And shout out to Gary as well for the $50 donation to my daughter's school field trip fund. I appreciate you so much, Gary, and appreciate anybody and everybody going to help me out here with that. So thank you kindly. Let's get it up. Let's get it up there for you. And SKOL for Mafia, they play offense, Sports Haven, the defensive percent. Well, yeah, and we're going to get to that. You know what, Sports Haven? I don't know about feeding the Madison the rock anymore. I think he's had enough opportunities and hasn't done much with them. But we're going to talk about that here in just a quick moment. And in fact, let's get a little background music going here. We'll turn it on just right. Vikings beat the 49ers is going to be surprised. It would be a surprise, Eric. You damn skipped me. It would be surprising. You know what? I'm here for it. I really am. Or is going to get pressed. All right. It's at the bank, but 3 problems. Control. Yes. You ain't lying. You are not lying. You are not lying at all. Shout out to Norsefius in the building. What's going on, Norsefius? Thank you kindly for joining me as always. Thank you guys so very, very much. Okay, for real this time. Matchup number 1, their offense against our defense. I've never been one to do the rankings and compare offense to offense and defense to defense. I've always said, let's go offense, defense, and the other way around too. As has been said in the chat, Brock Purdue, we got to get to this guy to have any chance of winning. I know Run CMC and Deebo Samuel might be out. And I say Run CMC because earlier this week, I kept saying Run DMC. Okay, yeah, Run CMC. But I digress. You can get to this guy. Going into the season, before we had seen anything from the Brian Flores defense, I said, when I was arguing with my guy Dave from Minnesota Sports Talk, who wanted to tell me that the Vikings were going to be better than the 49ers. Okay. But I digress. I said their offensive and defensive lines are so superior to ours, particularly. And again, we hadn't seen anything yet. Danielle Hunter was still holding out, so to speak, or holding in, whatever. I'm just like, that San Francisco offensive line and defensive lines are so beyond us that how do you think we're going to even get to this guy? Well, their offensive line is still good, but it's got some weaknesses, particularly on that right side. Their right tackle, right guard combination has fallen off a little bit. Now, I'm not saying they're terrible. I'm not saying they're terrible at all. But what I'm saying is now that we've got what we've got with our defensive line, and it is a daggone shame that Marcus Davenport's not going to be in this game, is going to be out for at least 4 weeks. We all know that. But in the games that Davenport has played, this defensive line has looked respectable. So the gap that I had originally said from our defensive line to their offensive line has shrunk a little bit. Bottom line is this. Brock Purdue, outside of maybe Patrick Mahomes and Justin Herbert, he's one of the top 5 guys against the blitz, against pressure. So you got to be judicious about bringing that blitz, Flores. You can't just blitz him 60% of the time, even without his 2 main weapons. I still think that we got to be judicious about how often we blitz this guy. Byron Murphy Jr., Harrison the Hitman, you guys are going to have to roam that backfield because I believe that the Vikings are going to have the front 7 be within 5 yards of line of scrimmage pert near the whole game, whether they're coming on blitzes or not. So you guys are going to have to hold the fort down. And yes, Byron Murphy sealed that game against Chicago last week. Again, it was literally the guy in the backyard playing 500 that said jackpot and just kind of willy-nilly threw up that duck. But he made the play. We have seen Vikings cornerbacks in the past that have had an opportunity like that and didn't make the play. So we got to give it up to Byron Murphy for at least holding on to the ball. Now, I was shocked after he fumbled as he's getting tackled. I'm shocked we got that ball back. It would have just been so Vikings to get a game-sealing interception only to fumble it away. I'm like, oh my gosh, they got it. They always get it. Anyway, bottom line, defensively, you're going to have to bring the pressure. And you're going to have to bring the pressure with just 4, maybe 5. Just 4, maybe 5, because you blitz this guy too much. It's Katie Bartador. I mean, how many times did we blitz Justin Herbert and how many times we touched him? We touched him once, and it was a strip sack swipe that Danielle Hunter had. That was the only time we touched him all game, honestly. So, defense, you're the team, you're the side of the ball that's going to have to, you know how I always say the offense might have to carry more of the load, where I'd say 65% of the production needs to come from the offense and 35% from the defense. Defense, you guys got to be the ones who produce. And that's not entirely fair because a lot of the talent is on the offensive side of the ball in general, but without Jefferson, defense, you're going to have to be the ones that win this game. We've won 2 games this year, and both times had a defensive touchdown. Now, you cannot rely on that. That is not sustainable. Just like last year, it was not sustainable. But defense, you got to hold them. You got to hold them down because I'm going to get into it here just a minute with our offense against their defense, and it ain't pretty. Defensive guys, you're going to have to win this game. As ridiculous as that sounds, that's just how I feel. All right, back to the comments. What do we got? We got a bunch of them in here. All right, where's everybody else? Where's everybody at? Hey, Norris, a lot of highs and hellos. Norris Via says, I prefer old school TNC. Yes, I did. Sports Haven spot on. Danielle Hunter's got to be he's got to be the gang leader. He's got to be the ring leader. I totally agree. Mr. Justin, do you really think Davenport is a bust or luck? I don't know, Eric. He had injury concerns before he got here. Like when he signed with the Vikings, like all the Vikings beat reporters asked the Saints beat reporters, tell me about this guy. And they all said the same thing. When he plays, he's outstanding. The problem is that he misses a lot of time. Your best ability is, in fact, availability. You can be a combination Lawrence Taylor, Reggie White, and Danielle Hunter, but if you on the sidelines for 5-6 games a year, I don't know, man. So I don't think he's a bust per se, and I don't really think it's bad luck. I think that's just who he is. Now, I will say that this one, he got leg whipped, and so it's one of those deals where that one was bad luck. But as an overall, I don't know, man. because I gave up on the dude, and then he finally got on the field against Carolina, mind you. And okay, we kind of see where he was going with that, but I don't know. We'll see. Like I said, it's going to be a month before we see him again at most. They need to rush for it. Well, yeah. If only that were that simple. But I digress. Shout out sports. SKOL for Life Barber. What's going on with you, man? SKOL fam indeed. Appreciate you stopping by. Always get you a shout out, man. Always get you the shout out. Big Goon is IR. Yeah, exactly. Some more hellos. Kirko needs to find Osborne. I'm going to talk about that in just a second. Doesn't believe in our mighty Vikings beat that. They got a shot. They got a shot, Eric. I'm not going to be, it's absolutely no chance whatsoever, but it's going to take a lot. They're going to have to play pert near a perfect game because, they're a better team than us. That's just reality. That's not being negative. That's keeping it real. Shout out Frozen North. What's going on? I'm not sure. Probably not. Probably not. Our defense is our offense. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Barber. The offense didn't score in the second half against Chicago, and they had the ball first. 0 second half points. I digress. What's going on, Greg? G-Mac in the building. What's going on? Good to see you. Good to see you as well. Thank you so kindly for stopping by. We got the Grandizer in the building. What's going on? He's always going to get the fight song in there, ladies and gentlemen. So that's half number 1, and this is half number 2. We're going to hopefully sing that song a little bit or a lot, preferably a lot, come Monday night. All right. So speaking of Monday night, before I get back to my next thing, first off, if you hadn't hit that like button already, please do. But I'm finally figured out how to do this poll business. So I'm going to ask this question right here and right now. Should I do a live stream on Monday? Now, people trying to talk me into it because, again, normally I go 8:15 around halftime of a Monday night game, and I'm like, well, do I do that when it's the Vikings game? People really going to tune in? Probably. I don't know. So I got 3 votes on my Tuesday show. So we're going to add 3 to whatever this poll says, but you guys are control. Now, if you voted on Tuesday, don't vote again. One way or the other. What's going on? Here? I don't know. Justin, for being honest about the Vikings not saying yes. No, absolutely. You ought to know by now, and pretty much everybody knows by now. I am not Ducky and Bunny. I am not rainbows and butterflies. I'm going to keep it real. I mean, that doesn't mean I'm not passionate about this team. I had a comment like, why do you hate the Vikings? Why are you talking about? I'm like, I don't hate this is my ride or die. Just because I'm frustrated with how this season is going and I'm keeping my evaluations real and my opinions real, don't mean I hate them. In fact, here's the thing. The opposite of love is not hate. The opposite of love is apathy, where you just don't care. Being angry and properly evaluating how this team has performed thus far isn't hate. It's, I still care about you enough to talk about you. But anyway, I digress. With the odds, well, that Hunter is gone. You think I don't know. He gets injured too much. He gets injured way too much. All right, I put the poll up here, but Ryan's got an absolutely. All right, we'll take that into account. I'm too ADHD. Can't watch and change. Well, there's that. There is that. When keeping it real. Thank you, Greg. Thank you so kindly. I appreciate you. All right, let's get back to this a little bit. Now let's see if I hear myself. The music doesn't seem like it's as loud, but Dave texted me during Engage and Destroy and said that's a little loud. So y'all gonna have to help me out with that. But real quick, let's get a couple more. Is Jade going to live stream too, where you guys can stream on both of you? I'll reach out to her. When you did it, yeah. You want to know? Here's the thing, Grandizer. The only time that me and Jade did a live stream together, it was the damn Cowboys game where we lost 40-3. And by halftime, Jay and I are just like, well, yeah. So I don't know. I'll reach out to her. I'll reach out to you. Yeah, both your yes. Oh, absolutely. I got to meet her at SKOL Fest, and I'm just like, okay, yeah, she's even cooler in person than I thought online. Shout out to my SKOL brother, Purple Pocket Podcast, my guy Rap. What's going on? We still ain't figured out when we're gonna do rapping for days. In fact, we haven't even talked about it. That's all right. That's all right. We got time. So everybody's saying hello. All right, last one. So what are you gonna do on your stress-free Sunday? Oh, I'm gonna be watching all day. I'm gonna be watching all day. Particularly, hopefully, I don't know if I get the Baltimore-Detroit game. That's the one I want to see. And obviously, I want to see the Packers and Broncos too. But at the same time, it's just like appreciate you, Dave. At the same time, would I want to see the Packers and Broncos? Yeah, but I'm looking forward to a good game. So I'm gonna go with Detroit and Baltimore there. Okay. All right, for real now. Let's get back to the theme in hand. Themes at hand. Their defense against our offense. Oh boy. Let me just say it like this. Our offense against two bottom feeders. Let's see. We scored 21 points, -7 from the defense. That means we scored 14 offensive points against Carolina. And by the way, we really had a net 7 because we gave up 7. Thank you, Kirk, for the 99-yard pick six. Against Chicago, had 12 points at the half. Should have been 13, but blocked extra point. Okay, that's not Kirk. That's not the offense fault. Again, you scored 0 points in the second half against a god-awful team in Chicago. What are you going to do against Nick Bosa and this defense? I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do. I'm still trying to figure out how we get past 14 or 17 points against these guys. And 17 might be generous. It might be like 15, 5 field goals. I don't know. Defense or offensively. Even if we had Justin Jefferson, I would say, okay, we should try to, we'll have to get to at least 21. I don't know how they're going to score. And I say it somewhat serious and somewhat sarcastically, but honestly, tell me, this Vikings offensive line, is it, done better than what we thought it would be? Yeah, it's been a little bit better. I'll give them that. I'll definitely give them that. But their defensive line, they're a 4-man wrecking crew, particularly with Nick Bosa. I'm just saying, it is going to be difficult, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be difficult, to say the least. To say the least, it's going to be difficult. But if Kirk Cousins can have the game of his life and not freak out and not get bogged down by the crowd noise, I'm still a little irritated with that. Still quite a bit irritated with that, as a matter of fact. But having said that, Kirk, you were saying earlier, I'm not saying bench Alexander Madison, but I think we have enough evidence that he's just kind of a 2. Now, again, I'm not saying don't start him, but it should be a 50-50 split. It shouldn't be Madison getting 18 touches and Cam Akers getting 2. It should be Madison getting 15 touches and Cam Akers getting 10 or 12. Because you got to get these running backs involved, and you got to get them involved early. You've got Jordan Addison and KJ Osborne and TJ Hawkinson and Josh Oliver. Assuming they all don't drop a handful of passes or don't put the ball on the turf, we got a shot. But it's got to be quick passes. It's got to be toss sweeps. It's got to be jet sweeps. It's got to be misdirections. You cannot do a 5 to 7 step drop where, okay, Kirk gets the snap and he play actions to the running back, whoever it is, and he turns around and all of a sudden he's got somebody in his face. No, that ain't going to work. You got to do short, quick passes. You've got to win the time of possession. You just have to. You cannot set your defense up to fail. You can't put your defense out on the field for 40 minutes while you only on the field 20. That is not going to work against anybody, especially the 49ers. So you've got to ball control. You've got to win the time of possession, and you have got to execute. You've got to be better than 1/2, 6 possessions, 4 3-and-outs against the Bears. Against the Bears. Seriously. How in the world do you not score any points against the Bears in a half? And so what I'm saying here, again, I'm not crying over spilled milk. We got the W, but if you can't score on the Bears, you better figure something else out to score against San Francisco's defense. So, boy, oh boy, oh boy. Boy, oh boy. Put it in the comments. Realistically, how many points you think we're going to be able to score against these guys? If we had JJ, I would say we could score between 21 and 24. Without JJ, I'm saying 14 to 17. And we might be generous. We might need 2 defensive scores. And we better hope that they don't get a defensive score. Otherwise, forget about it. They're still a good team. I know. They don't have their 2 weapons on offense. Or they might not. We don't know at this point if they're going to play. We're going to find out, an hour and a half before the game. But even if they don't, their offensive line is still good enough to ball control us. Brock Purdue is still good enough, even though he just took the L last week. I think it was first regular season L, right? That was his first L in the regular season. Okay. The kid's got something. I don't want to hear about how tricked up he is because he's, with Shanahan. You can't be that tricked up. You got to still have some kind of skill and some kind of ability out there to be doing what he's doing. So, again, and by the way, as been said a few dozen times on every channel that you can find talking about the Vikings, yeah, they're pissed off. They're pissed off that they lost last week to the Cleveland Browns. Now, Cleveland, again, pretty good defense. I'd say top 5 defense, maybe even top 3 defense in the NFL. But they still should have won that game. They played like garbage and still should have won it. So now they're going to be extra pissed off. We got a long day ahead of us, ladies and gentlemen. But do I think they can win? Yes. Do I think it's going to take them to be near perfect, both offensively and defensively? Yeah. But any given Sunday or Monday, Sunday night, Monday night, Thursday night, Tuesday night, whatever night it is, regardless of what night, every game is big in my mind. There you go. All right, I got to catch up on some comments here because I'm way behind. I am way behind. All right, so Sports, yeah, you are correct. It is going to be a bleep fest, and I hope that the Broncos are just slightly less garbage than the Packers. That's what I hope. But then I would be going back on my theory of you want the team you're playing next week to win so they're not pissed off. Yeah, that logic does not apply when we're talking about the Packers, just so we're clear. Do you think the Lions free? Oh, yes. They're a good team. People say, oh, tanking don't work. Really? Detroit's been bad for a while. Quite a long while. And they had a lot of number 1 picks, and they finally got it together. Do I think that they can win a Super Bowl? No. I think that absolutely they're going to win this division. And like I said, if they beat Baltimore this weekend, the division is effectively over. They will be 6-1, and then they'll have the Raiders, the Chargers, the Bears, the Packers, at the Saints. That could be difficult. Then the Bears and the Broncos before they got there 2 out of 3 with us surrounded by the Cowboys. Tell me after this week, tell me where the Lions are going to lose. Raiders, probably not. Chargers will Chargers. Bears, no. Packers, no. Saints, maybe. Bears, no. Broncos, no. Yeah. If they, you know what? It might be over even if they lose to Baltimore, but I'm telling you right now, yes, the Detroit Lions are for real. Now, how much noise could they make in the playoffs? I think that they could do what the Vikings didn't do and win their home wild card playoff game because, again, Philadelphia or San Francisco, one of those 2 teams is going to be the 1 seed. The other one's going to be the 2 seed. So Detroit will probably be the 3, and they can win against any of the wild card teams. Absolutely, they could. Going on the road to Philly or San Francisco, that one's going to be tough. I don't think they get past the division round, but for right now, from that perspective, yeah, they real. Packer game is on. Well, see, I'm in Rochester, so locally in the Twin Cities isn't always the same in Rochester, but what's good? Chilling, man. You know that. I'm a Drankson, y'all. All right. Our offense will do more to stop itself than say. You ain't lying, G-Man. You ain't lying, Greg. You ain't lying. You ain't lying. The day after show, go check out a new video. Okay. Well, the day after, I'm supposed to be whatever. We'll figure that out. By the way, to the 21 people in the building, I forgot to announce it on Tuesday because Mello was with me and Dave, and we just started yapping. But Tuesday was 1 year that I've been doing this. And so for the 21 people in this chat right now, on a Thursday night, coming up on 8:45 Central Time, after I've been yapping for 32 minutes, it warms my heart, and I am so grateful to each and every one of you that have subscribed, that always show up, that are active in the chats. And even if you're not active in the chats, that's okay too. That's okay. But after a year, it's an amazing feeling, particularly with where I started and the first few months of it, and me doubting whether I should do this, and having people in my life at the time that really doubted me and said, "Why are you doing this?" It feels good, ladies and gentlemen. It feels good, and that's all because of you guys. That's all because of you guys. I talk my talk, I give my opinions, but y'all the ones that keep coming back and say, "Nah, we got to listen to just." And what's really good, it's funny. A couple times, somebody wasn't at the live, and they watched it back the next morning and put in my chat, "Oh, I'm really sorry I missed the live." I'm like, dude, you came back and watched it either way. I mean, yeah, we missed you in the chat, but that tells me that, hey, I gotta watch his show back. I'm just gonna leave it at that, is to say thank you so very, very much. And thank you to my fellow content creators, Dave from Minnesota Sports Talk. Even though we argue, it's all out of love, because we both want to see the Vikings win a Super Bowl. Obviously, my guy Rap. I'll tell you what. You remember when Michael Jordan was talking about Kobe, and about Kobe calling him in like 3 a.m. to get advice? I ain't called Rap at 3 a.m. to get advice, but he is taking a lot of his time to help me, whether that's giving me ideas or propping me up when I'm down and thinking, what am I doing here, and all that good stuff. So shout out to Rap as well. And shout out to all you guys. I can't give all the names because there's so many of you. I don't want to take the risk of forgetting one. But having said all that, all right, let's get back to the chats. But I'll say again, thank you kindly, everybody. Are you serious, Grandizer? Seriously? The NCAA checking out Michigan. Oh, boy. Watch out, Rap. SK. Yo, MTV Raps. I get you. I see you, Northfield. I see you. I almost missed it, but I saw you. Yeah, again, for those of you just joining, earlier this week, I kept saying Run DMC when referring to Christian McCaffrey, whose nickname initials is Run CMC. Yeah, nobody nobody pointed it out to me. I'm like, I just kept saying Run DMC from back in the day. But in all seriousness, hey, if we had hired Harbaugh, we could have at least stole the run like hell from the 49ers defense. Yeah. All right. Madison will have a redemption. I hope so, Sports Haven. I really do. Because I love that guy. And again, I was more than willing to say goodbye to Dalvin Cook. And as we have said on our channels, we've actually met his father, Alexander's father. And he's one cool dude. We've had him on our shows a couple times. He was with us on draft night when we did the Super Show. Only was on for about 10 minutes because his connection wasn't working. But we saw him at SKOL Fest, and I just want Alexander to succeed. I mean, I want the Vikings to succeed, obviously, but absolutely want Alexander to. So hopefully you're right. And this would be a good game for him to. This would be a good game to have that redemption. The Vikings are struggling with ball control. Oh, yeah. That's what I'm saying, Eric. They got to not struggle. Otherwise, forget about it. Forget about it. Shout out Caesar in the building. Vikings. You will not get any argument from me. I'm going to say this right now. If we lose to San Francisco, sell. I don't want to hear this. Oh, we're 2-5, but we got a good game. We got a good schedule for the next 6 games. I don't care. If you go 5-1 in your next 6 games after starting 2-5, I don't care. Sell pieces. Sell them. But I digress. We'll talk a little bit more about that, Caesar, after the results of this game come in. We'll see. And let me be clear. I'm not rooting for losses. I'm just keeping it real. You lose this game, you start out 2-5. And by the way, I'm not listening to my guys, and I'm not going to name names. I'm sure you can figure them out. But I'm not naming names. But I'm going to say, don't talk to me This was Dustin Baker's tweet, and he was just throwing it out there. So let me be clear. I'm not messing with him right now. But well, in 1999, the Vikings started 2-4, and they came back and won 8 of the last 12 games to go 10-6, and then they actually won their first round playoff game. Jeff George a little bit better than Kirk Cousins. Randy Moss, Chris Carter, Robert Smith, Jake Reed, a little more as a group better than our current situation. We all love JJ, but come on, yo. And oh, by the way, that offensive line had 4 Pro Bowlers on it. And by the way, here's the thing that Dustin pointed out. We started 2-4, and who was our opponent? It was the San Francisco 49ers, as a matter of fact. And they blew the doors off them. I think it was like 40-10 or something. I don't remember the exact score, but we mollywopped those guys. Now, if we somehow beat San Francisco, we ain't mollywopping them. But I'll say this. It would be interesting. You get a W. Now I'm listening to Don't Sell. I'm absolutely listening to we'd be lucky to get a touchdown. You ain't lying, G-Mac. Madison is not the answer, like my guy meant. Oh, yeah. Yeah, well, I think he's a good 2. Vikings will score 20 points, and we will surprise. You know what? 20. I hope that's enough. I really hope that's enough. Good night, Justin. Good night, all. All right, hey, thanks for coming, Raymond. Thanks for coming. I appreciate you. Man, as always. We got Mateo in the building. What's going on, Mateo? Good to see you as well. Thank you so kindly for joining us. Vikings are going to get their back. Well, they'll probably get one. Oh, Mateo. That's why I love having you here. Shout out to Sarah in the building. What's going on, Queen? Good to see you. Shout out to My Worthless Opinion for the $10 super chat. Congratulations on the month. I appreciate you, Worth. I appreciate you, man. And shout out to Northfield with the $5 super chat. Hey, dude, you like family. I don't got to agree with you, but I got love anyway. You know what, Northfield, you're absolutely right. And that's the fun part. And that's what we lose sight of sometimes. We all want to see the Vikings win the Super Bowl. Why do we got to argue so much about how to do it? But hey, what do I know? What the heck do I know? Shout out Dylan in the building. Appreciate you, Dylan. Thanks for stopping by. You top notch when it comes to Vikings. I appreciate Ice-T. I appreciate you so much, Dylan. I do. And in all seriousness, I do. I absolutely do. Okay. This thing scrolled down on me, so now I got to scroll back up. I didn't really want to be sitting here with this, but I love Kirk. Well, I was wait till they hit the void. Oh gosh, yes, I know. $28.5 million next year if he's not retained. $28.5 million dead against the salary cap. Oh, Kirk Cousins' salary cap number this year is only $20 million, so he's not being overpaid. He's the 15th highest quarterback being paid this year. Yeah, because you pushed 28.5 into void years. We're going to be paying for him when he's not here. So don't, but we're not going to get into that. I've had enough conversations with my guy, Dave. It's Chad. What's going on? Good to see you. Shout out Chad in the building. What is going on? Hey, I appreciate you so much. Northfield bench Kirk, fire sale, and see what Jaron. Yes, I've said that, Northfield. If they lose on Monday, you find out how much you can get for Danielle Hunter. You find out, can you get anything for KJ Osborne? Can you get anything for Harrison Smith? I mean, Ezra Cleveland would have been on that list, but he's kind of hurt now. So good luck trying to get anything from him. And you know what? I don't care what people say. You can call me Kirk hater all you want. The people who know me know that's not true. But I'm going to say it like this. You go up to Kirk and be like, hey, I know you said to Kevin Seifert in the media that, you didn't want to talk about it. And apparently there's some reports out there that you've made it clear that you're not waiving your no trade clause. Here's how it's going to work. Between now and next Saturday, you're going to give me a list of teams that you would accept a trade to. And if you don't, after the Green Bay game, your ass going on the bench. And Jaron Hall's going to take the rest of the snaps for the season. I totally agree with you, Northfield. I've been saying it for 2 weeks that there is no good that comes out of playing out the lame duck quarterback. Nothing good comes from that. Nothing. All that does is, luck your way into 7 wins. Big whoop-de-doo. Big whoop-de-deal. Hang the banner that Kirk got us a few more wins on the way out. Whatever. No. You tell him, hey, we got to see what we got in this kid. And if he's got something, then we won't draft a quarterback in the first round. We'll draft a nose tackle or something. And if Kirk says, really? You're going to bench me and I'm trying to play off for another contract? Yeah. So give me a list of teams your ass be taking that you'll waive your no trade clause to. That's what I say. And I don't care how that looks. And if he says no to that, be like, hey, you can be a $20 million backup. It's as simple as that. Should the Vikings make an offer for a guy like Derrick Henry? No, absolutely not. I don't know the white person, so I'm not going to pretend that I do. But obviously, Derrick Henry, no. This team, let me put it to you this way. When Christian McCaffrey was traded to the 49ers, it's because they had the rest of the roster already built up so that they could say, oh, we got a cheap quarterback, so we can bring in Christian McCaffrey, even with his salary, and say, okay, that's our final piece of the puzzle. Derrick Henry wouldn't move the needle for me, Sports Haven. Because, like I said, to me, if you lose and you're 2-5, you sell off pieces. You don't bring pieces in, but that's just me. What does a Minnesota Vikings fire sale look like? No, I didn't read that. No, I didn't. Like I said, I work in payroll and this was processing week, so I have not kept it. You could have told me when I sat down that Justin Jefferson had been extended and I wouldn't have known. So I'm just going to say, what if I pretty much said it. Danielle Hunter, he's the obvious one. Again, anybody who doesn't, any pending free agents, KJ Osborne, Harrison Smith, I know he's not a pending free agent, but I'm telling you right now, this is his last year because either he's going to reduce his salary yet again or the Vikings are just going to cut him. So if you could get a 4th round, 5th round pick for Harrison Smith, I would do it. If it's a 6 or a 7, I wouldn't do it just to, let him finish out the year. That's fine. But KJ Osborne ain't going to be here next year. Get something for him. Danielle Hunter, you could probably get a 2nd round pick, maybe even a low free. I'd call Jacksonville, be like, I'll take your 1st and your 4th for Danielle Hunter. And now that makes you a player in the AFC. But, like I said, I would try to convince Kirk. And if he doesn't want to do it, he's got every right to exercise his no trade clause. He has every right to do that. And I get it. He doesn't want to move his family and he doesn't want to have to move his family again. I say trade him to Atlanta. That's where his wife and company are from. That's where her family is. Now, yeah, Atlanta would have to be willing to give him an extension before he waives his no trade clause. But I'm sorry, there's a way to do it. But that's about what your fire sale would look like, roughly. Shout out Gary again. Sorry, all, but I shouted you out. I let him know you gave my daughter the donation, so I appreciate you. I appreciate you stopping by. Well, Gary, that's your call, man. That's your call. I'm not gonna say that. What I will do, one of these days, one of my shows will be a specific fundraiser because I do have access to, if I do some fundraising where I can get a percentage of it matched. So we'll do something. Appreciate you too, Tone. I really do. I appreciate every single one of you guys. Detroit gonna double up. Well, yeah, maybe. At least. SKOL Mafia, congratulations, my guy. Bigger. Yeah, I appreciate you, Mafia. I do. It was a pleasure meeting you. At SKOL Fest. Pleasure meeting everybody. Gary, you, SKOL for Life, a whole cavalcade of people. And again, I know I'm forgetting names, but at the same time, it's like, okay, I'd just be reading names for the next 15 minutes. Oh, yeah, I got you. But I'm going to put those two up there. Shout out again to Worthless and to Norsefius. I appreciate you. What's up, Mary? Good to see you. Thank you so kindly for joining me. So we got both the queens in here. We got Mary and Sarah almost coming in right at the same time, but that's all right, ladies. Thank you so kindly for joining me as well. I'm inviting all of our players except a few. Give me a 2nd round pick here. Who's got a 2nd round pick? First round pick. Oh, wait, I got you already. Gary, you're having sell. Yeah. If you lose again, if you win on Monday, then you've shown me something. Then I'll say, okay, maybe we still got something. I'm not going to go too far. I mean, if we squeak out a victory, I mean, like, okay, any given Sunday. But if they win against San Francisco, they're not selling anything. I dropped your name to a 49ers contract. If you want another Vikings creator club. Okay. If you reach out to me, I'll do it. Do some highs and hellos and goodbyes. Thank you. Appreciate you, man. Yeah, well, I know you meant Bosa. Yeah, that's just not going to happen. Shout out JDT93. What's going on, JDT? Good to see you. I know I'm about 5 minutes behind because, was answering questions. And like I said, I know some people, don't get to the chats very often, and that's why they can hold themselves to a half an hour, 45 minutes. And, I can barely ever get out under an hour, but to me, you guys make this worth it, and you guys make this a lot of fun. As I've said a million times, me and Rap could sit down and record for half an hour, but it would just be us two. Me and Dave from First and SKOL, we could sit down and record a podcast, record a video for YouTube and put it up there and premiere it. But, you guys are the ones that make this happen. You guys are the one that makes this happy. Hall won't be any better. That's fine, JDT. That's fine. We want to find out what we got. And if he's not better, so much the better. And if he's relatively close, so much the better there too. It's a win-win situation. If Jaron Hall has it and we luck into 7-8 wins, that's about what we would have done with Kirk. But then we get some picks back from Kirk. And then that Jaron Hall has something. And if Jaron Hall got diddly poo and we win 4 games, well, then okay, Jaron Hall ain't got it. So I would absolutely do that. No, I totally agree. All right. I go ahead and throw in on a few. Well, yeah, they're not going to do that. KLC's not going to do this. All right. Nick Bosa. Yeah. Okay. All right. I'm going to, this ain't spaces, Mateo. So we just going to leave that one alone. Payroll, no one. Yeah, I did the best I can. But anyway, yeah. There you go, Mary. You know what? Open it up a while ago and then just started yapping. If Big Ip, we beat the 49ers, we'll be back. Yeah. I think so. I think I'm going to have a whole lot of them, if I'm going to be honest with you. I'm also listening to TJ. Okay. I haven't seen. What is the score? What's the score, guys? What's the score of the Thursday night game? Okay. Judd Zolgad suggested an additional 2. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I heard it. I'd be okay with that. I'd rather just have the first right off the bat. But if it's a second conditional to a first, I'd want something more. I'd want a fourth, a second conditional plus a fourth. But you know what? I'll take anything I can get. Yeah, if Danielle Hunter gets a couple of sacks on Sunday, he's leading the league. So it's possible. But yeah, high second, low first, anything. I don't see you getting it. No, we get a second. Are we gonna get a young quarterback? I hope so. Horns up. There you go, Grandizer. I appreciate you. Only one way to find out. Yeah, I feel you. Thank you guys. 17-6. Wild still down 4-2. Boy, no scoring in the second. All 6 goals in the first period. That was ridiculous. Shout out to, oh my gosh, we got SK in the building. What's going on, SK? Shout out to all the Purple Gang members. That's everybody in the building. Dave is awesome. Yes, he absolutely is. He's another guy that has listened to me and given me advice. So I got to throw him into the mix as well. Rap, Dave, David, all you guys. All right, we back. Don't get your hopes up that the Vikings do anything. Oh, gosh. Yes. Absolutely. It's kind of one of those expect nothing. That way you'll be pleasantly surprised as opposed to expecting something and then you'll be disappointed. No, I totally agree. Dave. And as I've said, it's the Wilfs. they don't want to sell off pieces knowing that that's going to make their team worse, make them worse than mediocre. Oh, gosh, we can't have that. Not for one season can we ever have that. No, I think Kwesi would want to make trades. But, yeah, I agree with you, G-Mac. Nothing's going to happen until the Wilfs say, okay, we'll accept something to try to get us out of mediocrity. Try to get us out. All right, let's get to the last one here. Where did I put it? I forgot to upload it. All right, so we'll just go back to this one. We'll just go back to this one. We got to get some music up in here, guys. We got to get some music in here. Let's see. Let's try this one. All right, Dave. Send me a text. Let me know if the volume's good. Actually, Dave, just put it in the chat. Is that a good level? 49ers. Hey, what's going on? Thanks for joining us, 49ers. Thanks. What's going on, man? Got it. No, I just got what's preloaded in here. Let's see, which ABBA should we go? Dancing Queen, Take a Chance on Me. I mean, appreciate you coming in. Come on back. We got a few different shows that we do. We appreciate you. Appreciate you. Come on back anytime. Everybody's saying hello. All right. What you got for me, dude? What you got for me? It's good. All right. It's good. I was about to say, everybody shout out 49er. You know this is his first time in the building, so go ahead and shout him out, and have you done that already? See, 49er fan, that's what I do. We acknowledge everybody. We shout everybody out, and when it's the first time, everybody say, hey, shout out our new guest. Just going to hit the reset button. If you haven't hit that like button, hit that like button for me if you could, please. And if there's anybody in here that don't subscribe, hit that subscribe button. Hit that subscribe button. All right. As I said earlier, 5-1 is greater than 11, 5, and then 1-11. I'm just going to say this. And then I'm going to get up out of here. Because I'm keeping it to no more than an hour tonight. Do I think we can win? Yes, I think we can. Do I think we're going to? Probably not. Just being honest, probably not. I'll say again, your offense has got to ball control. You can't be going 3 and out. You can't. And I know their defense is outstanding, which is why I wanted to see more from you against bad defenses, because you can't score against a bad defense. Good luck. But, and 49ers fan, you can talk to me about it. Put it in the chat too, what you think. I'm thinking the only way the Vikings can win is to ball control on offense. And maybe get another defensive score, because the only 2 wins we got, we scored a touchdown on defense both games, because our offense didn't do much in either one of those games against Carolina and Chicago. And there's some people that even think we're gonna beat the 49ers by 10. Oh, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Appreciate you, Mary. Appreciate you. Shoot me a message, Mary. Let me know how your last couple of days have been. All right. And no, I ain't got a package yet, but shoot me a text and let me know how you're doing. Having said that, ladies and gentlemen, defensively, you got to get a couple turnovers. And honestly, Brock Purdue don't turn the ball over all that much. So you got to find a way. Again, I know we don't know if Debo and Christian McCaffrey are going to play. If they do play, forget about it. Forget about it. It's just not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. I got a Jets on my. All right. Good to see you, Northfield. Good to see you. The offense didn't do diddly poop. No, they didn't. They didn't. Justin, John J, aka 49ers, one good. Okay, yeah, no. I you know what? Okay, hold on a second. CMC, Debo, and Trent Williams are still injured. Did not practice today. Yeah, that's true. That's true. But I wouldn't be shocked if any one of those 3 guys still play. But again, they'll try it out Monday and see what happens. But here's what I'm saying. Even without CMC and Debo, the offense. Now, if Trent Williams don't play too, if all 3 of them are out, then I like the defense to be able to do something, because the offensive line for San Francisco, as good as it has been, it's come back a couple steps. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying it's come back a couple steps. But yeah, if Trent Williams isn't there, then Danielle Hunter and company should be able to do something. But
G-Max says, sit your injured guys. You won't need them. Shout out to Angel in the building. What's going on? I appreciate you. Cheers to you as well, Angel. Good to see you. Good to see you. They'll wear us down on the ground as usual. Yeah. And then again, what did I say earlier? Time of possession. You've got to, if you lose time of possession like 32 minutes to 28, okay. 35-25 is pushing it. But we done had the worst time of possession this entire season. There's like 3 or 4 games where we lost it 40-20. That ain't going to work. That's not going to work against these guys. It's just not. And even if you do win the time of possession, it still might not work. Sad we have to count on our defense for turnovers and TDs. Yeah. Because our offense will. Either way, to win, you have to score. Not talking to you, defense. Yeah, exactly. I see being similar to Eagles. Yeah, I could see that. But we don't got Jets. We don't got Justin Jefferson. So I'm trying not to be negative, and I'm trying to see a path to us winning this game. And I'm going to take the weekend and try and find a path to this game. If I'm being honest with you, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. All right, so 92% of you said I should. Who said no? That's what I want to know. Okay. Which one of y'all said no, I shouldn't do it? Okay. I'm thinking about it. I'll let y'all know. I will say this, regardless of whether I do the live stream and regardless of whether I do it with Jade or by myself, I'll reach out to her, see what she got going on. I will be appearing on the Real Forno show, a.k.a. the Vikings First and SKOL feed, which is becoming a pregame show because it's Monday night. So I'll be joining them at 6:05 Central Time. I know I'm going to be on there for that. And by that point in time, yeah, I'll know if I'm doing a live stream or not. I don't know. It's kind of one of those, do I have enough for, 3.5, 4 hours? I don't know. We'll see. JDT, we really had bet. Oh, gosh. Yes. Again, 4 possessions in the second half that went 3 and out. The other possession was a missed field goal, and the other one was run out the clock. So, bottom line is, you didn't, even if they had made that field goal, you didn't score any touchdowns in the second half against the Chicago Bears. I don't mean to put this record on replay here and spin the same record over and over again, but it's just pathetic. How are you going to win against good teams where you can barely score against bad teams? I don't know. Put your score predictions in, ladies and gentlemen. Put your score predictions in, and then I'm going to get up out of here. I appreciate each and every one of you for coming out here tonight. Hit those like buttons on the way out and share this episode with your friends. Or even if they're Packer fans. Because next week is going to get real spicy. It'll be Packers week next week. So, but in all seriousness, tell your friends. Come on down. Hey, this guy's not too bad. I listen to him once in a while. 49ers are going to have to get Kirk seeing and hearing that. You know what? Here's the thing. That GMAC 30. Dang, that bad, huh? That's a mollywhopping right there. 25 point. Woohoo! If the Vikings were really smart, Flores would find a way to maybe take Brock Purdue out for 6 to 8 weeks so that the 49ers would call us and say, can we have Kirk? I'm not rooting for injuries, though, but let's just – I didn't make that one up. I'm just repeating it, but anyway. Sorry, everyone. Yeah, probably. JDT said, oh, that's a closer one. Shout out T-Bass in the building. Hunter would look good. Yeah. I said it earlier before you got here that's what I would do. I'd be calling Jacksonville. Eric's the one bright spot. He's the optimist tonight. He's the positive one. He's got us 20-17. Oh boy. Everybody else pretty negative. 35 to 6. T-Bass, put your score prediction in there. 33-17, 41-23. I agree. Anyway, T-Bass, I'm trying to trade everybody. I'm trying to trade KJ for a 5th round pick. I'm trying to trade Hunter for a 2nd or a 1st round pick. If I can get anything like a 4 or 5 for Harrison Smith, I would do that too. I just would. Again, now that Davenport's hurt, and now that Ezra Cleveland's hurt, it's going to be tough to trade those guys. But at the same time, I don't know. Hope you have a show Monday night. Yeah, I'm thinking about it, Dave. I'm just thinking, do I have enough to go for the entire show? Because it's like, well, if I start at halftime or a little bit before halftime, I'm not going to capture anybody. So we'll see. We'll see. At work, can't watch the game. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Dr. Proto's got the Vikings winning in overtime by a field goal. Okay. Would look good in Canada. T-Bass says San Fran 26, Vikings 6, KOC is going to get out. Oh gosh, yes. That's one, I had how I do a T-Bass. I do, hey, this one, and then I do that one, and then I do that one. And I had one with the two coaches I forgot to upload. Production value. I know, production value. But having said all that, I'm trying to find a way that we can come out with a victory here. But last minute field goal wins for us, but I'm on Medicaid. And you did bet me that we won't beat Kansas City. You did say that, but that's all right. That's why we love you, Mary. What are you on? Yeah. 34 points against that defense? We couldn't score. Hold on. We scored 21 against Carolina. And that's including the defensive touchdown. What we have last week against the Bears? We had 20. So 21 and 20 is 41. Take out 14 from the defense. That's 27 points. So we're going to score more points against the 49ers defense than the combined amount of points we scored on Chicago and Carolina. That's funny. That's funny. Oh, don't forget live in 2 minutes. Okay, so here's the deal. For all of your programming notes, here's what we got going on. 6:05 on Vikings First and SKOL will be the Real Forno Show, a.k.a. Vikings pregame. Live at the 2-minute warning, also on Vikings First and SKOL. If I do go live, I will probably start it right after I'm done with Vikings First and SKOL, and I'll probably end it right at the end of the game and then head on back over to First and SKOL. I don't know. We'll see. Ryan's got us 27 to 21. That's respectable. That's respectable even. Mary said the good stuff. All right, what do we got here? Day, you doing a watch party? Yeah, the people have spoken. So there you go. Working for me. All right. Thanks, T-Bass, for coming by. T-Bass is you're all my I love you all, but T-Bass, Sarah, and Mateo with all the one-liners. I mean, all you guys make this good, but them three with their one-liners is unbelievable. And part of it is because I also see T-Bass over on One Bar in Lupagus, so I see, because they open up the mic for people. I try to get on there. I know T-Bass always gets on there. SKOL TYA gets on there. Vikings Funeral and a cast of thousands. But I'll never forget the first time I saw T-Bass. He gets on with One Bar with no shirt on whatsoever. I was like, dang, dude. Hey, it's hot down here. All right, fair enough. But I appreciate it all the time, and I appreciate all the support from each and every one of you. So with all that being said, living the dream. Okay, all right. If our defense must have 3 touchdowns. Yeah, you're probably right. Rab says 31 to 29ers. Yeah, that's probably about right. I love you. Hey, appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. Thank goodness this is probably the last prime time. Yeah. No, the Vikings and the Bears are the first game on Monday night that can be flexed out, and I guarantee you they will. Vikings Broncos. I don't know if they can flex out Sunday night that early. I'd have to look it up. But you're right. They have no business being on primetime after this. They really don't. It's kind of like what I said on Monday. This team hasn't earned the right for anything other than criticism. Somebody said, Justin, why are you so critical? They haven't earned anything but criticism. So sorry. I'm not Ducky and Bunny. As I said earlier, I'm real. I'm just saying. Doesn't mean I don't love my team, but no, they haven't earned the right to be above criticism, and they haven't earned the right to be on primetime. Yeah, last year they were 13-4, so they got what? 3 primetime games. Well, they ain't 13-4 now. Get them on. Get them out of primetime. That's what I say. If y'all didn't hit the like button, hit the like button on the way out. I think I'm gonna get up out of here. Watch the rest of this game. Is it 24-9? Really? Jacksonville just spanking that ass in New Orleans. In the Big Easy, nonetheless. Well, there's still time left. It's only there's about 20 minutes left in the game. Although I might be behind a little bit. Facts are facts. Thank you, Mary. Thank you, Mary. Thank you. Good night, G-Mac. Good night to all you guys as well. One more time. You know what? Hold on. What you got, Ryan? I'm going to be stressed enough. My parents are visiting for the week, and my wife is having week. Oh, wow. You got a lot going on, Ryan. You got a lot going on. That's for dang sure. All this game showed me is how I wish we had a quarterback that can move in the pocket. Yeah, Kirk could never. No. Good night, Eric. Thank you kindly. But I'm just gonna throw him up one more time. I'm not gonna do the full. I'm not gonna do the full bit, but I'm just gonna do it one last time. I know I usually only do it at the beginning, but I'm gonna do it at the end. Shout out to the members of our military and their families for fighting for our freedoms and maintaining our freedoms. Thank you to the police officers, firefighters, and EMS who, in times of danger, run toward it while we run away from it. I know it's a very thankless job at times. Thank you to all the doctors, nurses, frontline workers, surgeons, home health care providers. Y'all take care of us when we can't take care of ourselves. So I'm always going to shout you out at the beginning of my show. And I just felt compelled tonight to throw the shout outs back to them again. Maybe because I just wanted to get these banners up here one more time. I'm going to leave it with that one. So you got the Navy SEAL, the Army SEAL, Marine Corps, Air Force, Coast Guard, and Space Force as well. Name a flex the Vikings versus the Bears. Oh, this is why I love you, T-Bass. Let's go till next. I appreciate you, JDT. Yeah, I agree with you, Mary. Wow is right. Great show. I appreciate you, SKOL for Life Barber. I appreciate you. Pour one out for Ryan. Yeah. pour about 12 of these out for Ryan. Damn. All right, last one for tonight. We are not Green Bay fans. We will get on our team when they deserve it. You goddamn right, T-Baz. You goddamn right. It's funny. I was leaving work today, and I had my Vikings coat on, and one of these gals from Intake was like, "Go, Pack, go." I'm like, "Why would you say that?" "Oh, just to get under your skin." I'm like, "I just lost all respect for you." Not that I have much in the first place. I'm just kidding. Anyway, thank you kindly, everybody, for joining me. I will be on Vikings First and SKOL 6:05. I will be on live at the 2-minute warning once the game ends. And I'll let you know if I do this live stream thing. I'm still trying to figure it all out because I'd have to move my studio to go to my TV. But you know what? I'm making excuses. I'm not making excuses anymore. What were the final results? 28 people, 93%. Boy. Okay. The people have spoken. I'll speak to Jade, see if she wants to do collab or if we're just going to do our own thing. But thank you, Kylie, everybody, for joining us. I very much appreciate you. And as I said, all the support, all the love cannot be quantified. It can't. So thank you guys for 1 year. I know technically it was Tuesday, but 1 year on the channel, ladies and gentlemen, and each and every one of you are a part of it. And I appreciate y'all. Until the next time, SKOL to the next episode. Everybody have a good night. We'll see you Monday nights. Good night.